You are literally 100 days away from having it all. Changing every area of your life, whether it be your health, wealth, relationships, or your own personal happiness. And I want to share a little story with you just to prove this, okay? So I remember just over 4 years ago when I was about a year into my relationship with my lovely wife. And we were around her parents' house and we were having some dinner, and we were sitting in the garden and we were having a couple of drinks and just having a little chat and, you know, speaking about just like normal stuff. And then we got onto the point of, you know, where I'm at right now, because I'd done a lot of work on myself. I'd gone from being someone that had a really bad drinking problem for 10 years to actually quitting alcohol completely for 6 months. And that changed every area of my life, you know, twofold straight away. And I started to achieve more success in business. I started to achieve more success with my relationships. I was just generally happier, healthier, the whole thing. And then what her parents said to me is said, it's all right for you because it's different for us, right? It's okay for you. And you might hear this quite a lot, you know, or you might even say this to other people, like, well, it's okay for you, or well, it's different for you, or it's different from me. And even though I understand where you're at right now, and I understand objectively and subjectively where it's at, like subjectively, we all have different mindsets, we're all on different journeys, we're all at different places, but objectively, that mindset isn't helping you. Because if you think it's different for you, then that's going to just disempower you, and that's just going to hold you back. So I began to tell this story to her parents, and they didn't quite like hearing the story, but it was my truth, right? And I said to them, look, you know, I've got myself into a really good place. I'm not drinking anymore. I'm healthier, I'm fitter, I'm making more money, I'm moving towards financial freedom, I'm building an online business, but I am just 100 days away from losing it all, or 100 days away from having even more of what I've already created. And it's the same for you. You are 100 days away from having it all. And what I said to them was, is that let's just say I wake up tomorrow and start doing the complete opposite as to what I've done previously for the last 100 days by just 1%. So I just become 1% more lazy, 1% less committed, 1% less inspired. I miss my morning routine. I switch from drinking, you know, spring water to tap water. I start eating junk food from organic food. I start doing this, I start doing that. And over 100 days, I'm going to lose everything. I'm probably going to lose my girlfriend, who's now is my wife. I'm going to lose clients and business. I'm going to lose all of these amazing positive feelings and emotions and optimism of life I have right now, and this get up and go and this energy that's infectious. I'm just going to lose it all. I said it's really as simple as that. And if you're someone right now that really wants to change an area of your life, whether it be your health, wealth, relationships, or happiness, it's 6 inches in front of you. But what you're currently doing is you're moving with it rather than attracting it to you by making small changes. And all you need to do for the next 100 days is just make a 1% change each day and demand that 1% more each day. So building your character, building your self-image, doing that one thing differently to you usually would do. It's kind of like living in a backwards land. You may have heard this before, but in order to have what most people don't, you have to be willing to do what most people won't. And a great mentor of mine said to me many years ago, just look at what the general people are doing. Look at what the masses are doing and just do the complete opposite. So if they're snoozing their alarm, you get up. If they're not going to the gym, you work out. If they're eating processed foods, you eat organic, and so on and so forth. And you've just got to create this backwards and invert every habit, every thought, every emotion, every assumption that you have about yourself and the world and the actions that follow, and just change that by 1% each day. It's really that simple, just 1%, and demand that 1% more. And if you can do that for 100 days straight, you will be 100% better in every area of your life. Saying thank you more, being more grateful, being more appreciative of people, saying I love you a bit more, being more forgiving, being more compassionate, and looking after yourself, being more compassionate with yourself. Start questioning your current thoughts around the world, around how money's created, how love is, and so on from there. And start asking yourself powerful questions as to, is this actually true? Because if you're not happy with that certain area or areas of your life, you've got to zoom out and ask yourself, is what I'm thinking about changing this situation actually true? Because most of us are taught that money doesn't grow on trees, you know, happy wife, happy life, everyone comes before you, when really you can just fill your cup up first and everyone can get the overflow, instead of at the end of the day, you just get in the backwash, right? You can start to hydrate yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally each day. You can start to change the lenses that you view certain things through, whether it's making money or starting a business or your partner or that person that triggers you all the time. and start understanding that everyone is doing their best with the tools that they have. And their best mate might not be your best, but that doesn't matter, because all you need to do is meet them in the middle. When you meet them in the middle, you start to then raise their energy and their vibration, and you find commonalities, and you can have compassion and love in your heart. And you stop getting triggered by the external world. You stop getting triggered by people. You stop giving permission to other people and other things to make you feel and act in certain ways. Nothing then will become your master. You will become the master, because you will achieve self-mastery. You'll start keeping the promises to yourself. All these things that you say Monday night, Sunday night, whatever night it is, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make these changes. That little voice in your head, that is like, we could call your conscious, or the devil, or the angel on the shoulder, which is constantly reminding you of what you should be doing and what you're not doing and how you should be acting. That little voice, start listening to it and start making those changes just by 1%. We don't need to go from 0 to 100. We just need to go from 0 to 1. And step by step and day by day, you will twofold yourself, and you will go from being the 1.0 version of yourself to the 2.0 version of yourself. And you know who this 2.0 version is. You think about him or her all the time. How you show up, how you speak, how you present yourself, how you are in your relationships, in your job, or whether it's growing your business. You know who that person is. But it's just fear holding you back, or old habits, or you're worried about the outcome and you can't fall in love with the process. But if you can get a handle on this, if you can just make a start, if you can just say to yourself, I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning and I'm going to start to create, through aligned action each day, what the future me would do, the best version of me. You know what your best version is. Then you just have to go by 1%. You just have to do it slowly, step by step, and day by day. And set the bar low. Don't set the bar high. This is why most people fuck up their progress, right? Set the bar low and set a standard. Don't set an expectation. One of my coaches said to me years ago, Russ, the route to an unhappy life is to set expectations for yourself and others. Because rarely people live up to your expectations. Rarely you live up to your own. So he said, just set the bar low and set the standard low, and then slowly increase the bar as you go. Because if you can maintain and create a cadence consistently of doing 1 to 3 things each day for the next 21 days, you can start to then raise the bar. You can start to add new things in. You can start to replace things that aren't empowering you and aren't inspiring you and aren't moving you towards your compelling and inspiring future. You can start to starve off the 1.0 version of you. You can start to starve off the feelings and the emotions and the assumptions. And you can start to train your brain. You can start to train your focus to be in the present moment. So you're not spending all day thinking about the future, which creates overwhelm and stress and fear and anxiety. And you can stop yourself and train your focus to looking back to the past, which is usually filled with regret and anguish and failure and leads to depression. And you can start to train your brain to be focused on the present moment. And when you're focused on the present moment, like I am right now speaking to you through this video, you get into this flow state. Time seems to slow down. You get more things done. You feel more creative. You raise your energy, your frequency, your vibration. And you start to attract new things. You start to attract new opportunities. Life just seems to change. You seem to be stepping into a different timeline, a different version of you. And you know who that version is. You speak to that version of yourself, and that version of you speaks to you on a daily basis, saying to you, maybe you shouldn't have had that extra drink. Maybe you should have got out of bed today. You know you can do more. You know you can be better. And I'm going to leave you with this story. And I read it in a book. I can't remember the name of the book, but if it comes to me, I'll drop it in the comments below. But this story said, look, the day that you die, right? The day that you die, whether you're going to go to heaven, Valhalla, whatever you believe in, right? And you get to those pearly gates. And just before you step through those gates, this little note slides under the door, and you open the note and you read it. And it says your name. It says, here's what you could have been. Here's what you could have done. Here's what you could have achieved. What the fuck happened? And you have a choice right now. You can make a decision right now to change the course of your life. So that when you do go to those doors and that note gets slid underneath the door, you open the door and it says your name. And it says, Russell, life, ... You fucking completed it, mate. Make that future version of you proud. Make that future version of you so proud by starting to make the changes today. You only have to demand 1% more of yourself. for 100 days straight, and your entire life will change. If you got value from this, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, please add a comment, please like, and let me know what you'd like to see in the next one or what your biggest takeaways were. Stay blessed, stay prosperous, and just demand that 1% more.